Hello, hello, Kalu Kale. How are we doing today? Thank you very much for following 20 hours ago, Naked Wrecking Balls. Thank you very much. Sorry for the delay there. I was getting myself some coffee. Fresh brewed coffee. You may be wondering, Notepad, isn't it like 10 o'clock? And the answer is yes. Yeah, it is. It's like 10 o'clock and I'm having a cup of coffee. Fresh brewed cup of joe. Why am I doing that to myself? Because I'm a masochist. You should know this by now. So what are we doing? What's the game plan? What's the 411? What's the Hideo Kojima? It's Saturday. You can sleep in tomorrow. Fun fact, I will probably be going till I have a Pathfinder game tomorrow with which has been to give you an idea of what my life has been like for the Pathfinder RPG I've been playing. Now, for those who don't know, Pathfinder 2nd edition is a game that exists, and every day I wake up with Pathfinder 2nd edition. And I have to remember the fact that I have to be happy playing Pathfinder 2nd edition. What? I just noticed that. That's interesting. Huh. Huh. What's the Hideo Kojima? But yeah, no, I've been playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Oh neat. Yeah, here's the thing. I don't enjoy Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I just realized that fighters now get reactive strike. Does anyone else get reactive strike? I mean, we gotta swash. Let's try swash. No, you don't get that. This is going to be really funny if... Okay, let's... No, okay. Champion. No, you get the deific weapon and anathema. Are my friends still awake? No, none of them are awake. I'm going to harass my one friend. No, okay. This is one of those things when I just realized that technically fighters get a fucking get attack of opportunity. I didn't realize they get attack of opportunity. I don't remember that at all. That might be new to the remastered edition. That's physically painful because fighters are already good in PF2 for a variety of reasons. And I can talk about PF2 for a while and why I am not having fun with the game. But that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is, well, this. And you may be wondering, Notepad, what is prompting this? Well, there's a few different things prompting this. First one is I made the franchise video. I know how to do this. I know what the plan is here. And then I did a poll, and I asked the patrons, hey, what's your opinion on things? And people voted for Palworld, the TTRPG, which is a Not-Notamon rewrite. Yep, that's it. It's congratulations. Not many people voted for anything else. It was Palworld and SRD, so instead we're doing Palworld. Now, here comes the fun thing. Palworld was a game that I found myself enjoying when I really shouldn't. I think that's one of the weirdest aspects of it. Because I don't like games like Palworld. That's the weird thing. Because for those who don't know or who have been living under a rock, Palworld is a game about fighting, crafting, and doing things to build up a base, to continue doing things to build up a base. And it features, I can't believe it's not Pokemons. Pokemans. You might know it by... You might know it by, hey, it's Pokemon with guns. And fun fact, this is something that they don't tell you, and no one will tell you this very early on because they're like, it's Pokemon with guns. It's not. Gonna be fucking brutal with y'all. It ain't Pokemon with guns. And you wanna know why it's not Pokemon with guns? Because you don't get guns until a little ways in. You gotta play. Yeah, you start with a bow, and that bow is your lifeline, and then you get the crossbow. But then the crossbow gets completely mogged by a musket. Once you get a musket, the game really changes. But again, they don't tell you, course ammunition is very expensive. And, you know, kind of getting ammo in general is very expensive, so it's a very weird game in that regard. Because you kind of fight from the bottom and work your way up a little bit more than you would think, than what they kind of, yeah, it's just agonizingly slow. It is. I was talking about it earlier today, and I really wish, because I've been playing the game solo. Yep, I've been playing the game wrong. I've been playing it entirely solo. It's just been me. I've cleared all of the bosses except the new boss and one of the last island towers, the ice area tower. Because the thing is, the guy in the ice tower has 200,000 health. 200,000 health. Every single bullet from my assault rifle, my tier 2 assault rifle, does 50 damage to him. 50. Every bullet, it takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of effort to do that. All of that, I make 5 bullets. I do a total of about 250 damage to him. You have to rely on your pals a lot to do a lot of the damage, but you have to grind your pals up. And there comes a point where I would say upper 30s. I would say upper levels of 30s, things start getting a lot slower. You level up through the, you get through, the 10s, and then you get the 20s. Once you hit kind of the 30s into the 40s, and then really into the 50s, things start slowing down a lot. And I mean a lot. And it's not necessarily the game's fault, that's how the game is balanced. I actually had to tone all the XP gain up by like double. And it still takes forever to level up any of your pals, because things just don't give enough XP unless you fight something of equal caliber. But then that's, that's more resources you have to expend to fight something of equal caliber. That's just, it's a game about working upwards. I find that interesting. Because I usually don't like these kinds of games, but I think it's just a combination of the bosses and me exploring around. I always feel like I'm getting something with it, and I like the pals. I think the pals are a fun gimmick. They do add something and kind of give you the idea of the Palworld pals. They're all fun. It's hard to explain. It kind of seems kind of funny to say, being like, you like the pals? But I'm like, yeah, I do actually like the pals. I think they do their job. Some of them are a little bit less inspired than others, looking at you, T-fans, but they all do something interesting. It's like, oh, cool, every single one has special abilities, every single one does their own thing, and I always feel accomplished when I capture a new one. It's like, cool, I captured a big, cool new thing. I have thrown my pal balls at them, and I have captured them. I feel cool about it. It makes me feel really nice. They have souls, S-O-V-L. I want a Depresso. Every single one of them feel like it feels like an accomplishment. Even if you catch one like a dozen times, it's still goofy to throw a fucking Pokeball at a goddamn chicken. It's funny. It's funny to capture lamb balls. And the thing is, even like these lower tier ones still find use in late game. Like even if they're just working there, they don't eat a lot of food and they usually do something interesting. Some of them more than others. But why am I interested in making a Palworld TTRPG? What prompted this? There has to be some overriding fact of, no, there's not really anything. Pocket Pair, to give you an idea, Pocket Pair is a JP company that legitimately has not much to work with. They're a relatively small company out of Japan. They're a very small company outside of Japan. You kind of see. Yeah, they're very kind of, I wouldn't say scrappy, but there's just a lot of money. They did really well. None of their other games did exceedingly well. Nevergrave, ever heard of this game? Probably not. Ever heard of Craftopia? Probably not. And you even see they're a publisher now because they're just publishing games. Because hey, guess what? I've made a fuck ton of money. And it's like, yeah, they've kind of stopped working on Craftopia because what the fuck would they? Yeah. Yeah, they've effectively abandoned their other game here. You kind of even see a lot of the assets are actually the same. Yeah, they don't tell you that much, do they? Hee hoo hoo ha ha. But Palworld was kind of a super success for them. They've made a good chunk of money on it. But they're open enough. Here's the thing, this is the beautiful thing. They're open enough that with a good amount of how do I want to word this? A good amount of working the system, emailing a couple people and clapping some hands, Can we make it work? Can we talk about it? Can we muse about it? Maybe. Maybe we can gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss some things. To make Depresso a reality. Is there intention to open up an abstracted base building thing? I have a few ideas. It won't be very abstracted or anything like that. It's going to be abstracted, but it's like going to be like you have a stronghold. Invest shit into. Character in Nethergrade looks cute and funny. Why didn't you reach out to them before this? Well, there's two reasons for that. There's two reasons. One, I want to have a minimum viable product. I want to be able to show them, hey, look at this. I have this thing here. Would you be interested in pursuing this? You know, do you want to be a happy-go-lucky team together? The second thing is, right there. Now, one of the weird things is they've announced a joint venture with Sony. Now, what does this actually mean? They've put a thing together with Sony to, you know, what was it? It was establish a joint venture, JV, as Palworld Entertainment Incorporated, to expand and develop new businesses associated with the hit game, Palworld. There's a lot of game that, for some reason, Palworld Entertainment now exists. Yeah, Palworld Entertainment exists now. That's a little bit weird to talk about. That's a little bit weird to muse about. Suddenly, we might not be reaching out to Pocket Pair anymore. We might be reaching out to these people who are owned by Sony. Rather than a team of like 50 people with a kind of, we felt like doing it this way, so we did. It's instead going to be a larger business venture by multiple people. Hey, it's fucking Aniplex is getting involved. It's this super yeah, I kept telling you to reach out. Honestly, it was like I needed the MVP. I needed them. I need the, you know, kind of the bigger thing. I needed I wanted to make it more official. I'm like, I needed this, and that's why I kind of wrote out some ideas. If I hop on this early, I can get this done quickly. Something might be able to happen. But we're working on a, how do I want to word it? We are now working on a timeline, and that timeline is being a little bit more precarious. Let's just call a spade a spade. Like, we have a very precarious timeline all of a sudden. And is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Yeah. Yeah, let's not kid ourselves here. Like, let's not beat around the bush. Our timeline has rapidly expanded, and by that, our timeline has been cut into a if we hop on this early enough, we might be able to do something. We saw that their pals were legally distinct in the jumping ship from Nintendo. The thing is, they are legally distinct, and they are popular enough that people will buy Palworld merch. You might have seen on Discord. Discord, they were actually promoting it. They actually have like a full thing on Discord for Palworld, stupid, whatever the fuck they were called. Like the little avatars. That was it. You have the little avatars and stuff. I have no idea who would ever buy those, but people do for some reason. And they were doing a full thing there for that with them. Are they still there? No, they're doing the no, they're still there. You can Yeah, you can buy these things are like $8 a pop, and you can buy official fucking Palworld stuff there, and they are pretty active in promoting it. Pippa owns one of the biggest Chillette plushies too. Yeah, exactly. Like, unironically, it's become a franchise, and franchises. That's why if we hit this early enough, again, that's why I say like our timeline has now been. We have a timeline here, folks, and once if we can get an MVP out the door, we're good. So, so we want to see. What is it? It's Palapagos. Yeah, it's the Palpagos Islands. There we go. It's the Palpagos Islands. There we go. Crashing on Palpagos. And we want to do. I'm going to open up Samata here. Like, it's going to be interesting. I don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe nothing will happen. Maybe something will happen. But take the as pal tamers individual themselves on the Palpagos Islands. You know, we want to find themselves on the Palpagos Island. These Paltamers have uncanny connection to the resident pals, monsters, critters and monsters who inhabit the island, and can forming a how do we want to word this? It would be. Let's see. These Paltamers have found an uncanny connection with the resident pals, critters and monsters who inhabit the island, performing amazing feats and building a vibrant ecosystem and different creatures. However, all is not well. Whether they are okay. Oh, we got a manly. All right. Here's manly. Finally, my most powerful. Plapago, something lover slap mods. Yeah, here's my cat, everyone. Do you like my cat? Like my pink cat? Go get him, Octavia. I heard we are war crimes. Is this true? We're not talking about those. Let's see. Whether they threaten my other Paltamer so he can grow in power or gangs trying to assert authority in the relatively lawless era let's see. Whether they're being threatened by Paltamer so he can grow no power battling the local gangs, trying to start authority over the relative lawless chain of islands, or uncovering the mystery of the civilization that seems to both venerate and fear the whether rolls not well, whether they're being battling the local gangs, trying to start authority, or uncover the mystery of the old civilization that's venerate and fear the pals. Adventure. Danger is part of the Pal Tamer's daily life. Pal Tamer's daily life. To assist them on this. Actually, it's a Palworld Outcast notes. Because the thing is, there are actually, like, it's the Castaways notes. This is the idea, is that every single character has various journals that they leave around, and they all talk about shit. And you have things like, yeah, it's like the Castaway. It's like, yeah, it's the Castaway. Yeah, that's kind of the one of the funnier things about this is that technically all of the game mechanics are part of the world in a weird way. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, why do they attack? Why do people attack you random? Why do the pals attack you so readily? It is literally because they are programmed that way. Because pals will attack you at literally everything. Yeah. Or, like, there was one where it's about how eggs are made. Which is weird, because you think about it like, oh, how are eggs made? Eggs, all that occurs is that if there are two pals in the same area for long enough, they will create an egg if they are happy enough. Why do you find eggs scattered around the world map? Why do you just find them randomly? You find them seemingly at random because pals are in the same vicinity as one another and they have enough food, so they just create fucking pals. Pal eggs. Even though it's always going to be a fucking panglet. No one cares about the panglet. Fuck panglets. It also explains how you can really manipulate the breeding system in that game to create stupid pals. It's very funny. Let's see, system of the journey. How do we want to, what do we call the fucking GM? What would you call the GM in this situation? That's a question for you. What would you call the GM in a Palworld game? I guess, like, we had the Not-Notamon master. That was the original one up here, was the Not-Notamon master, but Pal master seems kind of weird. The big boss. I guess we just call it Game Master for now. Godfin is the best, but you'll never get one from Gank Coast. Gobfin, there's like one, yeah, it's the fucking Gobfin Coast. You legitimately need to go there fully armed to get anything done. Uh, Director, Pal Master Sergeant. What's a good way of wording at it? Game Master. Peter. Actually, what do they like? Yeah, it's the boss, 5 faction bosses. Yeah, also, none of these characters have actual character. That's under the tower. Mm-hmm. Mm. Level 50, level 50, 55. Fuck me. Yeah, you could kind of see the jump in level here, by the way. Mm, yeah, I guess there's no way of wording it. Oh, I'm getting pinged by someone. Who's pinging me? Mm. You do Peepo happy. Certified pal. Yeah, we just call it the Pal Master. Fuck it, it's the Pal Master. It's the PM. Yeah, your Pal Tamers, and then the Pal Master. This is the access. Let's see. To assist them in this journey, the Pal Master acts as both a narrator for the events transpiring, and on behalf of the allies, and acting on behalf of the rest of the ensemble. The tamers will, the Pal Tamers will meet. The Pal. Role is not directly antagonistic, instead acting as a that the Pal Tamers will need to react to and will need to react to, as well as push their own, and as well as you to push their own goal forward. There we go. Basic concept, basic idea. We did that real fast. This. There we go. Every Palworld adventure, has the let's see. Every Palworld adventure has the requires each of the tamer. For most of their actions, other dice, such as a six-sided die, D6, Maybe used well. However, Palpagos is a danger. Dangerous place when alone. Let's see. Palpagos can be a dangerous place when alone. Sharing is encouraged. So sharing is. There we go. Everyone is being friendly with one another. Remember everyone, the real pals were the ones we made along the way. Takes on a very different meaning with Not-Notamon. Okay, so whenever a pal tamer or their pal attempts failure or is opposition to another, they are making a check. The pal tamer will roll 2d10 at any modifiers to attempt to beat a target number and TN set by the pal master. Or try and score the highest, or try to score the highest result in opposed when opposing another individual or pal, or try to score the highest result when opposing another individual. Difficulty. So with 2d10, let me check something. No, we want to hit this button. Yes, am I going to refer back to the video I made on this? Yes, I am going to refer back to the fucking video I made on this. This is why I fucking made the video. See, I could have probably used... let's see. Fun fact, this image right here is my actual base, is my main coal base. I live here. This is my little house. I recently had to redo a bunch of it because it was bad, so I redid it. There we go. So if we want to do this correctly, it would be so So we are going to be doing a 2d10 if we go to any dice. If we do output 2d10, give me those 2d10 results, baby. Why don't we do 9 to 6, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Actually, no. Why don't we do 6 to 9? On average, you will hit. You will have more advantages. So this would be 10 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 25, 26. Ow. What was that about D10s, D6 being about the same? Well, if we look here, I close out of it like a goober. Effectively, one of the ideas is if we go to my little thing on my little thing on it. Come on, there we go. So, effectively, what we're doing here is the Japanese market likes its D6s and D10s. So what we do is we convert all the D20 math to do 2D10. One of the things with that is D20 is a result from 1 to 20. At its core, let's not kid ourselves here, D20 is 5% across the board. 2D10 can produce roughly the same range of results. You can get a 2 or a 20 there. However, we start drifting toward the middle. And because since we're drifting toward the middle, a lot of the math actually remains the same. We still have that range of numbers to work with. We just have to tone things upwards a little bit, depending on whatever the check is. Because instead of it being 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, we would be toning it up to this. Because on average, we will be rolling higher than just a flat D20. And so, on average, we will be rolling higher. Not consistently. You have on a D20, you have a 5% chance of scoring a 20, just as much as you have a 5% chance of scoring a 1. Here, we have very different results. You have a 1% chance of scoring a 2 and a 1% chance of scoring a 20. But you have a 10% chance of scoring 11. You have a higher percentage chance of reaching toward the middle. Welcome to the bell curve, baby. Bell curve makes life much, much easier. Come on, Vaporeon. Yeah, numbers need top a bit smaller with 2D10 than 220. It's effectively kind of the ideas with this and why we're going here, because I want people to average out to about here. You're going to not hit those as high rolls, as you kind of see, instead of that here, because we're going to be fucking with the numbers a little bit more. Quite a bit more, to be honest. That's why I'm actually toning things up a little bit. Because one of the big things about Not-Nomons is that you don't level up in Not-Nomons. Well, technically you don't level up. All that happens in Not-Nomons when you get better at doing something is that you reconstitute your friend, your Not-Nomon. You break them down into nothing and then you reconstitute them. Because that's what you have to do. So, and it's kind of like, okay, but most everything is going to be opposed rolls. That's also one of the advantages there. Most everything should be opposed rolls. It's 2D6, again, if you want to appeal to a JP market, honest to God, and again, that's what we're thinking about with this game. If you want to appeal to a JP market, you have to go D6s or D10s, because those are the two most common dice. If you play tabletop games, you most likely have 2d6, or at least 2d10s. Because Call of Cthulhu is the most popular game over there, bar none. And that's just something you kind of gotta think about that. No one's gonna design a game for a D30. I just realized what the headband is. Yeah, it's the metal plate helmet. What are you talking about, Spartan? Technically, here's the thing. I actually put in a thing for Not-Nomons, for Digimon, because there was a request for it, actually. Like, these aren't flawless, but if we want to do... yes, here's Digimon. Pokemon stated above, but lose interpretation due to digital world nature. Everything has to be an automated understanding of companion intellect. Digivolution. You don't necessarily catch additional one. Team will need to research, investigate, and scan to acquire additional Digimon and to eventually hatch one. There we go. That's kind of the idea. You really only build one Digimon. Probably like the easy, like some of them are a lot easier said than done. Hello, Gardevoir. How do you do, Gardevoir? Let's see. We insert table. Ooh. I like Gardevoirs. Gardevoir, here's the thing. Gardevoir carried my ass because Gardevoir was a really... I got a Gardevoir pretty lucky when I really fucking shouldn't have in one Pokemon's game I played. And it kind of carried my ass in certain encounters. I was like, Gardevoir. Nenny. Let's see. Mm. 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 No, they've either failed the check, or have succeeded with, consequences. Mm. 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 Let's see. Mm. 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 Let's see, this, okay, now things start getting a little bit hectic. So, we put you here, we put you here, we put this, we put this, we put you, you. In easy peasy, lemon squeeziano. No, always round down, so. We need to put in the extended check, go away. So... Oh, let's see, always tell you either ops or... Having two Digimon was always the tell that you were OP as fuck or doomed. I've been curious about this idea since the sellout video. Maybe revisit the vintage Pokemon board game and chew on those design decisions. Yeah, again, honestly, it's an interesting premise to actually just muse on and just think about. Like, you don't think about it, you're like, it's the Palworld game, hee hoo hoo. But then you're like, oh, wait a second. Like, there is actually something to chew on here just because it's astounding how much changes in Pokemon when two things occur. You can maneuver, and the fact that the trainer just pulled out a fucking gat. Oh, hey, Pikachu, you're being a little shithead. I have a gun. It's astounding how shit changes when that happens. Oh, no. That Depresso is being annoying and I don't like it. Musket. Oh no. That little shithead is being annoying. I'm going to shoot the Pal Tamer. Let's see. How do I want to work? Bingos and whoopsies. Yeah, we like bingos and whoopsies, everybody. Let's see. What is yeah, this is actually how I've been. Not-Notamon actually just uses the Notepad D20 system. Fun fact. Yeah. Always remember that, kids. Not-Notamon just uses the Notepad D20 system. Let's see. We want to do. Yeah, Palworld did a lot of things that hit at the right time. And it's very fascinating because of that, and its explosive success should be indicative that they did something right. Honestly, that it's like, oh hey, you did something very correct in this situation. Actually, I know we can do. Throughout the adventure. Horrifying misfortune. When this occurs. Let's see. Let's think. 2d10. If we have a 2d10, we don't want to add things too drastically, do we? So we can. We can be very daring. Mm. 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 Actually, no. Here's what we. Mm. 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 Conversely, suffering from the result of has the result of the die. Let's see. Oh, conversely, suffering from disaster have the result of the die roll. Mm. 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 Let's see, awarding favor, or let's see, is all awarding actually finding favor. Mm. 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 Finding favor or disaster is always in the hands of the. Let's see. Always in finding favor or disaster is always in the hands of the pal tamer and their pals, which means that no matter the situation, they will be the architects of their fortune or misfortune. Architects of their let's see. Example is if they are searching for someone in the middle of. They're searching for someone in the middle of the night. With a decent light, walking around with no light. Walking with no light would be a disaster. However, if the let's see. However, if the pal tamer has they may find favor in the situation. Represent. These are pretty extreme, but I have a reason why. Ages ago, I was aiming a D&D 3.5 campaign, was determined to be a Pokemon master and take every monster. I got tired of the crap and found Houndour's stat block for Gyarados for the party, and that thing popped up out of the harbor bay. Yeah, it's the hard part, and this is the thing what I did with Not-Notamon. This is the big thing with Not-Notamon is that getting dived on as a creator is a very real threat. And having a very real threat is getting murked as one of the Shaper. You know, being murked horribly. No, this is just me trying to get everything. Yeah. Okay. We need to move on to Criticales. Critical. Critical. Let's see. Let's see. If a Paltamer ever rolls d20 0-0, they have scored a critical, automatically succeeding at the depending on the situation, let's see. When a pal has their critical, depending on the situation, they will gain additional benefit. They will gain additional benefits. Ooh, what a take. Ooh. No, we do this. Do. Adventuring or battle. Adventuring. Gain favor on their next check. Let's see. Gain favor on their next check. Grant an ally favor on the check. Here's what I'm actually going to do because we need to save some space. We're going to save some space. We're going to do this table 2. I see we are going to insert table 2. We're going to put this here. We're going to make this table 1 right there. Backspace. Backspace there. We're going to hit 1 right there. Oh, Jesus, Mother of God. Battle right there. Delete table. Mm. Mm. There we go. Mm-hmm. Rocket launcher. And that's like one of those things I was talking about kind of earlier, is like a lot of the weird, some of the weirder like bits of lore in Palworld are literally just the fact that all the game mechanics are real. Yeah, all the game mechanics are just in setting. And it's like, yeah, no, this is totally normal. Let's see, actually. When they check. Actually, during this time, the Talent enters the critical enters their flow state. While in the enters their critical state. While in this state. They may choose at the actually whenever they make no, when they're mad, let's see, non-damage whenever they make their next non-damage check, they will drop out they will be in the state. However, or if they make a check, they may choose. Let's see. If they make a check, during this time, the Palworld. However, if they make a check, they may choose to. Result. Let's see, equal to the difference of their die result and 20 to continue the every time they do so. Yeah, there we go. This is always like the biggest gimmick that I actually quite enjoy. Like, if you really think about it, most people on the Galapagos Islands are fucking terrified of PALs. The only ones who aren't have the literal PAL device on them that lets them use, take PALs with them. And the franchise AK sells out video. Like, that's kind of the interesting thing as well, is like, that's why the PIDF exists, the Galapagos Island Defense Force, is people were being harassed by PALs too much, so instead we literally hired a private military corporation to defend everybody. However, turns out they're all a bunch of assholes who just, bully everyone in for payment. That's why there aren't really any big settlements on the island. Though I think if we want to be very conservative, because if we open up like the Palworld map, Like, here's the thing. So I'm going to hide all. We want to hit. That's a bad one. NPC. They are not very good at. Where are Okay, so here's the thing. The big island, the big cities are Dune Shelter, Small Settlement, and Fisherman's Point. Those are the actual really only like real settlements on the island. There are groups who live around, but it's not like settlements, if that makes sense. However, is Fisherman's Point a town of like 10 people? No. Probably in universe, there's a few hundred people, or even a few, maybe 1,000 or 2,000 people who live in that area. But they can't render 2,000 people, obviously. It's not just 10 people, it's a couple hundred people. It's a couple, there's more than a few people who live there. And it would be kind of like the idea of like, hey, there are actual little towns around, but none of them, why we don't need to represent this because this is a video game. And as a tabletop role-playing game, you have the ability to represent Dune Shelter's a pretty big city in the middle of the desert. Why is it in the middle of the desert? Because there is the actual fucking PIDF live around here. And because the PIDF, the actual military of this entire area that everyone pays lip service to because they have to, lives there. So no shit, we're going to feel a little bit more secure there. Yeah, there's technically ruined city, towns and stuff. And that's why it would be like, there are bigger ones, but there doesn't need to be a lot of different civilizations kind of thing. Like even on like the islands, like the main island here where the oh god, where is like one of the big towers are. Yeah, like even like up here, like these areas right here, there's probably towns and stuff there. But they're towns of Free Pal Alliance people. And why does that mean? It's that because Free Pal Alliance are technically infinitely spawning enemies, so of course we're not going to talk about. But on the other hand, these are roving gangs of people, effectively. They're cult members, effectively. They are people who join these factions because they have to. It's roving gangs. And they even talk about with Lily's notes, actually. Lily Evergreen's notes. She talks about like, oh, I know most of the people under me don't actually believe in what I'm preaching. They just want protection. That's all they want. They actually just want protection, and they want people to feel protected with me, if that makes sense. But they still pay the PIDF off, so they don't get killed. And then you have the really mysterious guys up here, but does anyone live in the Astral Mountains? Probably no, except in the general gist. If you were to be really conservative, they would probably be a town like right in the middle of here, and they all just serve the genetic research lab. And that would be kind of the idea. It is the idea, like most of this area is barely inhabited. Most of it isn't. And it's little towns dotted by like a few bigger like towns, really. You might say, oh, it's like a civilization. There's like hundreds of people. No. That's not the case at all. You are dealing with a couple hundred people in like little tiny towns. Even towns like the one over here, like the one little town over here, it would be a little town that holds up shop and just we pay off a couple PIDF guys protect us. But players would be able to establish their own little strongholds or say, hey, we like this town. We like the people here. We work with them very actively. We're going to build our stronghold in this area. And that's just saying, hey, we're using pals. We are pal tamers. We can do this. We're doing that. Yada, yada, yada. Alternatively, they could fuck off and make their own little fortress in another area. Like, you gotta remember, the Palpagos Islands is not built for this kind of game. This is built for a adventure game where, if you ever want to know why there's these little spots out here, these are for bases. Every single one of these little spots has resources in them. You shouldn't really build a base outside of these little areas. That's what they encourage you to do. Because every single one of these little areas is quite well defended. It's very flat. You can build things here. Very nice and easy. And if I can guarantee you, if you were to look at Palworld, you were to go to Palworld bases on a big Palworld server, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be a shit ton of bases around here in this central area. There would be a couple bases over here, a couple bases along the coast here, and a couple in here. But a vast majority of them would be dueling around here. That'd be my guess. But let's see. Then we do. Yeah, fumble the check and immediately fail what they are attempting. Depending on the circumstance, the Palmaster will choose an appropriate punishment for the. We'll choose an appropriate punishment for the situation. And what we do is we select this as well. We post this here. During battle. Actually, we can do let's see. Mm. D&D campaign is important enough to spend a party, then it's important enough to send a company, battalion. I get the argument and explanations, but I'm a wargamer at heart. Send in the army, build a base, colonize the area, take and tame the beasties. It's weird because again they kind of talk about that, and it's if you read the notes, like everyone there is not there for a good reason. And everyone's kind of stranded in the area. Everyone's been kind of here for a couple. No one's like a native of Palpagos Islands. And most people who show up there are like, oh yeah, we crashed our boat. We lost our way. We're here for a bad reason. And we've made a life here because we can't leave kind of thing. And like the only reason, that's why they kind of describe the PIDF as a bunch of bullies, effectively. Because that's what they are. They're a bunch of bullies. And Lunatic said, screw newbie, land and build and spot. Like, my very first base, let me see if I can bring up the Palworld map. See, my very first base was was right here. It was right in this little area right around here. And it was a terrible, awful place. But I'm like, I need a base. I need to set up a base so I can kind of start it as my newbie base. And it kind of just stayed that way for a while. But then I moved to the Twilight Dunes right out here. I am right next to... Yeah, to give you an idea, I am right here. I live directly next to Anubis. And there were many times the Anubis boss there saved my ass during a raid because they came from that direction and they aggroed on Anubis. And it's like hee hee hoo hoo. Mm. Mm. Now I got a couple weird... I very much have like the one main base in the desert, and then I have one base on the coast of the new island because there's an oil thing there, and I have a base on the far side of the mountains on Iceland because I use that place as a farming hub, and I use that place as a farming/ranch hub with the breeding farm there. And I have all my grass type pals there. Post-apocalypse. I wouldn't even, like, it's weird. I wouldn't describe Palworld as post-apocalyptic. I would describe it as a lost land of a very old civilization. There were people here who were way more advanced than everybody else. Like, that was kind of the idea. Is it's like, there was this old civilization here, but then people have kind of just moved in. They're just kind of hanging out. And that's why you have all the different groups seem so radically different from one another. Is because, like, yeah, we've just claimed this island as our own. Fuck you. So being kind of like this... a band of 5 homeless people armed to the teeth. Like, so being 5 homeless men, being armed to the teeth, being able to, like, oh no, there's a problem, go Death Dragon, being like, yeah. Yeah, it's, you get the idea though, like, you understand. Pokemon's a weird setting. It's a really weird setting if you really think about it. And not even like, oh, it's like, oh, haha, they send out kids at 10 years old to do these things. Like, it's the fact that Pokemon are as well integrated into the setting as they are, and they are effectively replaced animals, but these things are also kind of smart, and it's kind of like the idea that there is a place in the world where there is a creature that can psychically fucking kill you. This is just a known fact of life. That's one weird thing about Pokemon, and I always find that kind of interesting, is like, there is a world, like, there is a place where you step in the wrong place, like, if you step in the wrong area at the wrong time, a psychic rat will come out and blow your head up. It doesn't really matter, generally speaking, because it's over there. That's all we need to know. It's over there, and people can use these things as pets. Because these things are pets. You capture these things, they are your new best friend, and they're like, yeah, I am your best friend, let's fucking go, we are going to ride or die here. Let's go, pal, we are in this together. And that's really, there's a reason people like it, you know, Pokemon. We don't care about things like that, because who fucking cares? I think anyone who really obsesses about that you're missing the point. Pokemon is, I want to go collect cool monsters because they're cool monsters and I'm 12 years old again and this is awesome. Oh wow, look everyone, it's an electric rat. Cool, he's my new best friend and I will get weirdly obsessed with him. And that's fine. See, the one thing that I always saw as Pokemon, here's the thing. Like, the thing is, the thing with Pokemon, the way I always saw it, is that it's like the way a kid would see the world, kind of thing. Like, the kid's not seeing, like, yeah, this town is small. Well, the kid just isn't comprehending the fact that this is a bigger town. Like, yeah, it's like, why would the kid care about the fucking every single store on Main Street? They don't need to give a shit about that. Who fucking cares? You know, it's a world-ending threat. We gotta fight. Even though, like, everyone's, like, 15. Like, oh no, the main boss is, like, 15. Or whatever. And it was like, yeah, no, we're kind of skipping around things. Because, like, hey, who cares? You're, like, 12. Palworld didn't have that war thing to justify the societal differences. Palworld really didn't. From what I've been able to gather from the lore, it is quite literally a bunch of disparate groups killing one another. But for limited resources and the fact that everyone has a gun. People are apparently selling things outside of the Palpagos Islands, hence the black market. Like, they are apparently selling things out from the Palpagos Islands. But it's never really talked about that well. And then you get things like the Rain Syndicate. Like Rain in general. Like Zoe Rain here. Zoe Rain is the actual, like, head of the major criminal organization, but she inherited it from her dad. And everyone respected her dad, but no one really respects her. Like, yeah, nobody actually respects their current boss, so that's why you have such a huge disparity in different groups for the Syndicate, because, yeah, no one can really, yeah, because Rain's like 15, she's like 17, 18 years old, like she's a kid, relatively. And that's why you find them everywhere, because they're just different gangs of this super criminal group. What do? Crime stuff. But that's why you also don't encounter much of the like Free Pal Alliance outside of their initial little area, is because Lily is the strongest of them, or the Brotherhood, and because that guy is the strongest of them. That's just one of those weird things. It's a very bizarre world, and it doesn't make any remote amount of sense. Unless it makes no sense unless you sit down and say, this is a video game. Yes, this is a video game. And because it is a video game, this is why it is the way that it is. And there's things you can do to expand this world, obviously. You know, and obviously there's more things you can talk about. There's also a reason why people like Lily. Because Lily's journals are actually interesting because they provide a lot of context for, like, why are we doing these things and what's going on. Let's see. There we go. All right, gentlemen. Oh God! Ow! You gotta catch her. I mean, what? You really want underwater stuff. Oh God! You're gonna make me do this. So yeah, I fucked my back up today. Fun fact. Fucked my back up really badly. Actually, don't know what happened. You know, I took some painkillers for it. And of course, today was the day I was like, I'm going to clean my entire house. And I did, mind you. Just every now and again, I had to make a go noise as my back was twisted into 6 different ways this Sunday, and I felt nothing but absolute agony. It was very fun. Alright, so, let's see, Pal Trainer. I mean, if we were to, like... I mean, if we were to do Palworld... Not trainers, there's actually, it's this thing. Like, that's an actual, like, thing that they have on them that is a plot input, that is a plot relevant thing. It's a plot relevant thing, and I don't know the exact thing for it. An actual word for it. Pal thing? Amp crystal thing. What do they fucking call it? Let's see. Wandering merchants. Like, sometimes they have it, sometimes they don't. What do I look? What am I thinking of? Fucking word for it. I know that. From the back issues, yeah, my empathy shit sucks, and noise helps. Can confirm. It was a great little show with a nice big group cast for Kaz. It was nice till they started dying. God, I hate finishing Digimon Survive. Oh God. Let's see. Pal trainers are those with exceptional talent, skill, bravado. Adventuring hero. Let's see. Push them into the life of adventuring souls across the lawless Palpagos Islands. Through the use of ancient technology. Through the use of ancient technology, they have mastered the art of capturing, training, and ordering pals to perform duties and battle it out. Often regarded mixture of awe and fear. Pal tamers are fiercely competitive over and the power of the pals and the Palpagos Islands. Palpagos Island. Palpagos Island. Change the Palpagos Islands in the islands in their favor. With the Brain Syndicate, Eternal Pyre, Research Group, P-Idea. The conflict between the gangs reaching a boiling point, and the before let's see, caught up in the let's see, it's only a matter of time before these pal tamers are caught up in the battles ahead. Who they fight for, and what they are fighting, who they fight for and what they are fighting. Who they fight for, and where their own ambitions. Let's see, who they fight for and where their own ambitions lie. We'll test loyalties. These are conflicts. Pal tamers. Okay, so we put a horror line there. We do this. Do. Let's see. Besides them the entire time will be there. Besides them the entire time will be their pals. Whether as frontline grunts in their never-ending war, or as a stalwart companion. Standing beside. Harrowing of standing beside their partner in the most harrowing of situations. Let's see. So we go on to disciplines. Starting attributes, attribute points. Suicidal tendencies. Okay. You know what? It's 11:45. I'm going to call it here. Thank you all for watching. Most likely we might do this again tomorrow. I don't know yet. This is going to be kind of my next side project. And when it comes to side projects, it just kind of happens. We're going to be working on this as much as we can. Ojisan Demon Slayer Corporation is still the most important thing right now. It just takes time. And the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna call it here. No, any raids tonight? Probably not. A little bit late. Going to call it here. Thank you all very much. Godspeed, good luck. See you all on the other side. You know the rest. I am, as they say, away.